Hi everyone, and welcome to. I have been teaching at NCCC for a long time. I teach in the classroom and I also teach online courses. I have taught this course probably every semester for the past few years. I primarily teach computer programming courses, so this is the only applications course that I teach, but I certainly use Microsoft applications all the time. So this is just kind of a introduction to our course and a little bit about how to navigate our course and find out what you need to know in order to be successful. So the first thing I have to tell you, this is a 7-week course. It's still 3 credit hours. Whether it's taught in 15 weeks or 7, we have to cover the same amount of material and you have to complete the same amount of work. So this is going to be fast paced and there's going to be a lot of work due in a short period of time. And you need to keep that in mind as we get started. Some students might say, I teach in the summer for the same length of time. Is this a lot of work? Yeah, it sure is. But it's certainly doable. Okay, so this is our home page where you'll land every time you come into our course in Blackboard. And just to go over, there'll always be announcements here, but the course announcements, there's a link over here which I can show you in a bit, and the announcements are much nicer over when you look at them this way. Starfish is a new early alert system. This is only being used on a pilot project by nursing majors, people that are at the Culinary Institute, and if you're only an online student. Those are the only students that have access to it. So the link is here, but many of you will not be able to use it. Here's some smart study strategies you can take a look at. Here's a link to your T-Wolves email. It is essential. You're taking an online course that you need to check your email several times a week. It's the only way I can communicate with you. So you have to be checking your email if you would like to take an online course. I don't have another way to get a hold of you, to send you announcements, reminders, ask you questions, anything. So please be sure, probably 4 to 5 times a week, you should be checking your email. Here's some products that I'll talk about throughout the semester. Atomic Learning, which is also now called Who Knew It, and lynda.com, and they have a lot of good references in here for students that are taking a course in Microsoft applications. And here's all the NCCC policies if you need to know anything about tutoring or accessibility services at NCCC or anything else. You can find that information here. So this is our course menu on the left-hand side, and when you click home page, that just brings you to our home page. Start here, you should read this. It tells you how to get started in our course. And the first thing it says is if you're new to Blackboard, you should go through the NCCC e-learning student orientation. To do that, you click on the Student Resources and Policies tab, and then you can go through that orientation. It's right over here. Now, some students say, oh, I probably don't need that, but if you're new to Blackboard and online courses, you should take it. It will teach you tips and tricks that'll make it way more efficient for you to take an online course. Okay? Then the next thing you need to do is you need to go through all of this course information, all of these course information documents. Okay? Let me just pop back here for a second. Just as a reminder, at least 3 times a week and preferably more, you should be checking our announcements, checking your email, and checking the calendar. So I'll show you all that in this introduction. So here I'm going to click on the course information and syllabus documents, and I expect you to go through all of these before beginning the courses. You can read this as just a welcome for me. This is the video that you're watching right now. This is my contact information and log-on schedule. The best way to contact me is by coming over here and clicking send an email. I check my email all the time, so that's the best way to get a hold of me. If you're on campus, you're always willing, you're always free to stop by and see me during my office even if you're an online student. But I do log on pretty much quite frequently, most days, Monday through Friday. I'll log on the weekend if I have a chance, so I can't make any promises over the weekend. This is our course syllabus. You should read through this. I've been asked to provide both a PDF version and Word version, so you can use your favorite version when you look at this. Okay, as far as course materials go, you don't have to purchase anything for this course. We're going to be using mostly videos that are in a product called Atomic Learning. It was called Atomic Learning, now it's called Who Knew It? And we have a site license through it, to this through NCCC, so it's free to students. But it is an online class, and you will be using Microsoft Office 2016. So you have to have access to a computer with Microsoft Office 2016. You can use the computers in the Student Learning Commons if you're an NCCC student, or NCCC provides Office 365 for free to our students. And through Office 365, you can download Office 2016 to your computer. In another module, I'll explain exactly how to do this, but if for some reason you want to do it sooner, it's in the Student Resources and Policy link. Right here is the information. So you can look at that if you would like. So there is a version of Office 365 for Mac if you're a Mac user. And you can use it for all of this course except the portion of the course on Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access does not have a Mac equivalent, so you will have to have a Windows computer to use Access, Microsoft Access 2016. If you have any questions on that, you can let me know, but more details will be provided in the next module on that. This is our calendar. Again, I have a PDF and a Word version. The calendar is very important. If you click on this, you'll see a full link to our course calendar with every single due date that's that's important to you. And you need to be aware of the due dates. I can't say strongly enough, this is not an online course, follows very strict guidelines, very strict due dates. It's not just kind of a work at your own pace type of course. So you are responsible for these, and you can read through this in more detail, but our discussion posts and our assignments will be due on Thursdays, responses to the discussions on Fridays. There's lecture series that'll be due Tuesdays and Thursdays. There's projects Tuesdays and Fridays. And every time we have a quiz, you'll have Friday and Saturday to take it. You only have an hour to take it, so you can pick any time on one of those 2 days. So I'm going to let you look through this, but I have another version of the calendar to show you as well. Learning activities and how you will earn your grade. 15% of your grade will be based on discussions. You'll have to post a response to the discussion question, and then you need to respond to other students based on the instructions for the discussion, and there will be a rubric telling you how you'll be graded. These are not accepted late. Lectures and Who Knew It or Atomic Learning videos. This is so important. There are lectures in there, and you have to watch them. If there's 15 lecture videos, and they're all very short, between 1 and 5 minutes, you have to watch all of them to completion, and it will check off, and it'll show you which ones you've done. So once you've completed all of them, a 100 grade will appear in my grade book. If you don't watch one of them, a 0 grade appears in my grade book. I will, in the first module, talk more about that, so pay attention. They have to be watched by the due date. They are not accepted late. Okay? There's no partial credit. You either get a 0 or a 100. You either watch all of them or you get a 0. And I'll just say, you know, a lot of times our students are like, well, I already know this stuff. Well, when I was designing this course, I really know a lot about Microsoft Office. I use it all the time. I've worked on jobs where I've used Excel and Access. And I learned things in the video. So even if you know a lot, you will learn something from watching them. 15% of your grade is based on quizzes. Again, they'll be open for 48 hours, but you have to take them during that 2-day time period. And I do drop the lowest quiz grade at the end of the semester. There's going to be some assignments, one in the icebreaker activities module, one on Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. They have to be completed in time. They are not accepted late. 49% of your grade is based on your projects. All right, so you have to make sure that you get those in. This is the only thing that I will accept late, and that's only because sometimes students have problems at the end, and I'd rather they spend another day on it and turn it in late than not turning it in at all. So there are late penalties, 5% per weekday, and no projects are accepted 1 week after the due date. 1% of your grade, I'll ask you to fill out a course feedback survey at the end of the semester to help me improve the course, and here's your grading scale that you can look through. So learning activity, oh, sorry, that's what we just did. Course expectations. I'm going to let you read through the rest of these yourself. So go through all of these, read them sequentially. Here's what I expect. Here's the NCCC disability disclosure. If you have any sort of a disability where you need an accommodation, you kind of work through their office and then with me, and I'm happy to provide those accommodations for anyone that needs them. Everybody in class has to do the academic integrity at NCCC. You click on the link, you read the paragraph, and you answer one question. I need you to complete that for me. And then your next steps, again, you can read through here, but you need to send me an email so I can make sure that you understand how to do it. And then when you're all done here, all right, you're going to come over and click on the learning modules and get started. So this is just a note. Make sure that you watch the welcome video. You're watching it now, so you probably did. And here you'll see our first module, which will be open, which is the icebreaker activities. Now, inside of each module, and I'll just show you, you won't be able to see them all. These are our modules. Some of them are dimmed out because they're not open. At the beginning of each module, there'll be a video introducing you to that module and what you need to know. So I'm not really going to talk too much about this module because you'll have another video to watch for that. Okay, so over here in our course menu, learning modules, that's how you get to the content. I have a course calendar here with all of the due dates are populated. Here you can see our first work is due on the 26th. The introduce yourself discussion post, the computer backup assignment, and you should have to watch these lecture videos by here. Then there's a response to students in the introduce yourself discussion. And then our first course is going to be open for the quiz, will be open for these 2 days. So every due date is also listed in this course calendar. My grades, your grades will always be up to date here. I just kind of like to remind students for due dates, don't use this for due dates. Some due dates seem to appear and some don't. So always be using the course calendar, or I showed you back in the course information link how you can, get a full course calendar. So, you can use these as a guidelines, but this is where you should be looking for your grades only. And I keep them quite up to date. Once you complete assignments, I'll be grading things and you'll be able to see your grades. Again, the course announcements. I told you this is kind of a better way to see the full announcement and to see past announcements in course. Here's where you send me, you can just send to, let's see, all instructor users. That's me. If you want to send me an email. And then remember, if you send me an email, you got to go to your T-Wolves email and look for my response. This is for those students using Starfish. I have some resources here, how to configure your T-Wolves email to another address or a mobile device, information on your 365 subscription. If some of you need some assistance in Windows 10, there's some good videos here. How to create an assignment in Blackboard,